Hello, good afternoon, students. Today's presentation we are going to see about the petroleum surface equipments. So, in petroleum production engineering, there is a lot of equipments are utilized, but we are going to see about the surface equipments. Surface equipments. So, let's go to the presentation. So, petroleum surface equipments. Today's presentation on petroleum surface equipments. So you know that in petroleum production engineering, a lot of equipments are utilized from BOP to your degasser, desilter, then separators, etc. But now we are going to see about the only the surface equipments like BOP, rotated BOP, and degasser, and etc. with some more clarification. So you can see here the first slide. So for a naturally fractured horizontal well, so what is the casing diagram? How the casing has been done. So you can see the well diagram. So you will see the oil and gas brine and the brine density is less than or equal to 1.02 grams per meter cube, and the pressure in HEL well causing lot of loss of returns, and pressure in lower TOE, that is of well, causes the influx. And here the pore pressure is equal to 3030 psi at 6234 feet. So these are the specifications which I have described now. So it is a naturally fractured horizontal well. So you can see the all the specifications. So pressure higher in HEL well and pressure lower in TOE of well causes the influx. And the pressure higher in HEL and causing the loss of returns. So that also you can see the diagram, and the pore pressure is also shown here. And next slide. So this is a naturally fractured horizontal well. So this is your schematic of your surface equipment required for your drilling. So as I told you, you can see the clearly. So the BOP stack, then you can see the choke manifold or drilling manifold, underbalanced drilling manifold, then chemical injection, then you will see the other drilling fluids line, that is your mud pits also shown here. Then it has been shown here also the gas fluid separation system, or you can see the separation system of gas and fluids. So choke manifold and your BOP stack, that is rotatable BOP, and mud pits. So that is the brief schematic of surface equipment needed for your drilling. Then atmospheric surface system for drilling. So you can see here the clearly the gas separators and skimmer tanks or BOP, then choke manifold, oil tank, then oil for the treatment of the location. So we can see here the separator from the top of the separator, gas separator, it has the flare has been separated out, and the second one also in the gas separator, also one flare, then your gas booting opened on bottom, the skimmer tank also, and the flare has been sent. 12 inch, 6 inch, then 4 inch. In choke manifold, for regulating the flows. Then BOP. So you'll see here the annular preventer, pipe ramps, blind ramps, and also the pipe ramps. Then oil tanks. So atmospheric surface system for the drilling. Then it's a typical BOP stack with rotatable BOP. So you can see the choke line and your rotatable BOP load preventer stack also shown. So rotatable load preventer RBOP. You can see here also the RBOP sealing elements. So you'll see here the nitriles, then hydraulic fluids, then Kelly packers are shown here for the rotating VOP sealing elements, nitrile and hydraulic fluids and Kelly packers. These are the sealing elements. Then this is your typical drilling choke manifold. So you can see the hydraulic choke and manual choke for the regulating of the all the flow lines from your well to the surface. Then you'll see your mudcap drilling. So what is mudcap drilling? So this mudcap drilling is utilized with uncontrollable loss of circulation during the drilling operations, and higher pressures then can be safely handled with the rotating head or RBOP. Then this you can say that it is a normal technique, but it is not like the principle followed in underbalance drilling. So the driller loads the annulus with a relatively high density and high viscosity mud and closes the choke with surface pressure with maintained level, and the drilling is then continued blind by pumping a clear non-damaging fluid down the drill string through the bit and into the teeth zone. Mudcap drilling. Then next point, applications. So the sustained surface pressure in excess of 2000 psi and the sour oil and gas production and the small diameter well bores are utilized in the mudcap drilling. So you can see the well diagram. So the viscous fluid mudcap. So you can see the mudcap interface, formation fluid and drill water, then water replacement in formation fractures. So you can look at there in the well bore diagram of the mudcap drilling. So what are the schematics diagram equipments required for the mudcap drilling? So you will see here from your rig floor. So the HCR valve is closed, then choke is closed, that is choke manifold line. Then diverter also is there. Then gas buster to flare. Then chemical injection is shown, and the circulatory system from your rig floor. You can see the all the mud pits and the mud pumps. One mud pump, 1, 2, 3 mud pumps are there for the mudcap drilling. And here you can see the closing of chokes. Choke is closed and the diverter also shown. So this is a schematic diagram of equipment needed for your mudcap drilling. So you can recollect your drilling onshore drilling rig, the circulation system of the diagram. So it's a part of that, which is shown here for the mudcap drilling. So the survival base assembly. So how the survival base assembly has been done. So you can see very clearly, see the survival base assembly is shown down and sheaves. Next you can see the stationary slip assembly. Then after that you will see your work basket is closed one. Then operator's BOP console is on the top. Then operator slip console also shown there. Then stand guide. Then traveling slip assembly is shown. Then after this the pipe guide. Then you will see the snatch block. the left hand side, and the counterbalance weights, the snubbing cables, and the upper cable guide, which is in the top. So this is the example of showing the all the assemblies. That is swivel base assembly. So now it is a show. You can see here the system of your rig, which shows everything, all the system, how it has been arranged. So the pump manifold shown here, the riser poles, BOP, stripper, then hydraulic equalizing valves, then power pack, fuel tank, toolbox, hose basket is in the bottom, then dual winch, control console work basket is shown there in the top, then traveling slips, rotary table, then Kelly hose is shown clearly, then pin pole, dual sheave down, then swivel starting wall, then the left hand side you see the tongue arm, then power tongue, bibe elevator, etc. Stripper, then BOP riser spools. So all the drilling pipes are taken to the top for your drilling. So the pipe racks is shown the left side. So this is the assembly of all your rig table, rotary rig table, drilling table, rotary drilling rig table arrangements in the mudcap drilling. So this is your well diagram, well bore diagram. So you can see here the top productive interval of at 8,157 feet, then 7.5, 726 inches at 8,128, and kickoff point at 8,302, then 60 degrees elevation. Then you can see all the secondary target, then 600 1 by 8 inches hole at 8,550 feet, then formation deep at 8 degrees, then north 80-degree east, are shown here. The offsets are shown in the bottom. Then pilot hole is dressed off to up to 8,285 feet. You can see the top of shell at 8,821 feet. Then the pilot hole also shown. Then primary target is 8,618 feet. So that is your primary target. So you can see the target center shown in the bottom with the black. Next slide. So it's a arrangement of your BOP stack. So you can see the rig floor. After that, your drilling spool and Cameroon single 7 by 6 inches, 10 meters. Then annular preventer Cameroon type. Then 7 by 16 inches at 10 meter. Then Cameroon U double also shown. Then install companion flange. Then drilling spool again the down. Cameroon U double in the bottom. Then DSA fracture wall, tubing heads, then gate wall, SOW casing head also shown in the bottom. Then cellar, other things are not shown here. We are seeing only the BOP stack arrangements. Next slide. So snub drilling choke system. So what is the snub drilling in your the choke system? So you can see the wellhead, then sand separator, then it goes to the gas liquid, then it goes to the ideal choke, then manual choke, and other line goes to drilling fluid return line to skimmer, and from your manual choke, so all the gases are sent into the flare, and mud pit also, and gas buster, the liquid has been sent to skimmer, and gas buster is separating and sent into the flare pit, gas flare pit. And from your ideal choke also, from your gas and liquid system, from the sand separator, a part of it been separated from the gas buster, sent to the 6 inches gas pipe and sent into the flare pit. So this is a stump drilling choke system. So the drilling fluid left hand running also shown in the left hand side to the mud pit. So this is your typical closed circuit surface system. So you can see here the production tank and production vessel. So drilling fluid tank, then rig pump and mixing with the nitrogen and everything sent to the stack, then choke manifold for the flow regulation, and sample catcher, then flare stack, and to the igniter. So this system, closed surface system of your drilling, onshore drilling, you can say that all the about in the surface system. So how you are doing the flow control arrangements are shown here in this diagram. So you can see here clearly. So you will see the RBOP. So before this, you can see the separator pressure vessel and the water returned to the rig tanks. Then oil storage transport. Then flare stack is separated from the separating vessel. Then there are a lot of gate valves and globe valves, and your sample catches are sent to the other manifolds and send it to shell shakers. Annular return to choke and manifolds, choke manifolds and to separator. Then choke line is connected to the other north line separator manifold. And you can see the rig manifold, the right hand side to flare pit and choke. And the choke line is connected to the rig manifold. You can see from your VOP, then HCR line. Then down you can see the casing, surface casing, intermediate casing, production casing. Surface casing at 300, 400 meters, that is 500, 508 mm. Then intermediate casing at 339.7 mm casing. Then production casing at 244.5 mm at 1890 meters of it. Then here in left hand side, we will see the tubing spool, casing spool, and kill line you can see. Then pipe ramps, blind ramps of the BOP. Then kill line is in the left hand side of the choke line. Then your pipe ramps are also there, and the preventers. Then RBO, you can see the RBOP height is 1700 mm, and that is your RBOP, rotatable blower preventer and diverter. So this is your flow control arrangements. Then integrated flow control and sample catcher manifold. You can see here wall, choke bypass, then well effluence, then flow direction. Then you can see the full bore wall 1, full bore wall 2, and output data and flow direction. So this is your sample catcher manifold. So this is your typical horizontal 4-phase separator for your underbalance drilling. So you can see here the gas, liquid solids and soil transfer pump also shown, and velocity reducer and adjustable partition plates also shown. And here you will be able to separate. So it is a horizontal separator for your underbalance drilling. So you can see the continuous pressurized solids transfer pump also in the bottom shown, and the well effluents are sent in from the top of the right hand side of the separator. The gas bin is taken out in the left hand side. So this is the brief schematic of your horizontal 4-phase separator. So other surface equipments, cutting, filter, heaters, degasser, flare stack pits, then production tank, water tank, and solid tanks, then instrumentation. So these are the other surface equipments. So thank you. So we made a brief presentation on petroleum surface equipments today. So we made a brief presentation today on petroleum surface equipments. I will see more on petroleum production equipments in our next presentations. Thank you. Subscribe my channel.